Welcome aboard. My name is Laube, and we're here today to begin making model airplanes for your upcoming in-class glider competition. By making this very basic model airplane, along with me, you'll be well on your way to excelling in your competition. I've been making paper airplanes for over 30 years. My dad, Norman Brownlee, introduced me to the fun when I was a kid. We would make the paper airplanes out of any pieces of scrap paper that we could find. I've taught the basics to my children, and they've been expanding on those fundamental concepts and are making much more complex gliders today.
How many of you look up every time you hear this noise? I know I do. Do you ever wonder how these great crafts were created?
Their roots lie in paper airplanes, or gliders. Let's take a look at the Wright brothers' time, a few different model paper airplanes, and then get down to the fun of making our own planes.
The Wright brothers, back in the early 1900s, experimented with gliders, both manned and flown as kites. The simplest form of gliders, believe it or not, are paper airplanes. The Wright brothers focused on 4 flight influences that you've been studying in class: lift, balance or stabilization, air resistance, and aerodynamics. Captain Ralph S. Barnaby, retired from the U.S. Navy, is considered an elder statesman of aviation. He began making paper airplanes when the Wright brothers began flying. What you see here is a Barnaby model that's a very versatile flyer.
Let's move on to the Brownlee models. The first Brownlee model, the Brownlee Basic, shown here, is a straight flyer. The second Brownlee model, the Brownlee Looper, flies curvy and performs loops. Either one of these models spends about 10 seconds in flight time. They also will glide anywhere between 25 and 30 feet when launched from a height of 5 feet. So let's get down to the fun of making the Brownlee Basic paper airplane. One of the great things about paper airplanes, the only supplies you need is a nice stack of paper. So let's get started. You're going to take your 1 8.5 by 11 piece of paper and you're going to fold it in half lengthwise so your paper looks like this. Then we're going to take the top corners each, fold them into the crease. Make sure you're pressing down so you get a nice crease. And your paper airplane looks like this. You're going to fold into the center line yet once again. And fold your plane back in half. So you can see the shape starting to take place. Now we're going to create our body by folding out these wings. And it's best to try to keep the body small. It's my experience that they fly better this way. I'm going to fold out one side, flip it over, and fold out the other side. And your plane looks like this. Now we're going to fold up tips of the wings and make ailerons. That helps with our lateral control and our stability of our plane. So you're going to fold that up on either side, and I'll show you that here in one moment, so that your wings look something like that. The last step is taking the tail end of your plane and pushing this little crease just up a little bit and squeezing it in. It seems to help the plane fly better. So now your Brownlee Basic is done and you're ready for a launch.
As a supplement to the demonstration I just provided you, I've provided step-by-step instructions, which I will leave with your instructor as a class handout so you can continue to make these great airplanes.
And in closing, I'd like to point out something that you'll invariably notice as we go forward with our paper airplane competition, and this is called Barnaby's Law. Regardless of the direction or technique of your launch, a paper airplane will invariably come to rest at the most inaccessible landing site. From me and my crew, have a great flight.